All right, a lot to get to this week here. Still in the offseason, you nerds out here. If you're watching this here, there's no Ravens going on. There's no Orioles going on. So you are into the offseason stuff, which is what we're going to do today. Of course, we're going to talk about Justin Tucker. I thought I'd start with Tucker, but I'm not going to start with Tucker. We're gonna do what we were going to do. We're going to talk about the Ravens team needs. So last week we talked about the Baltimore Ravens in terms of who's a free agent coming up on the team. So we're going to get to the draft and all that other stuff, mock draft, but what do we need on the Baltimore Ravens in 2025? So what are the things that the team needs to do going forward after the loss in the playoffs? Now, I will say this is our next season is going to be our fourth season covering the Ravens. I would say not as much as it's been in recent years, because I think they've addressed some things. They did not obviously win the Super Bowl. They've addressed some things, but not you don't have to have now this great receiver. You got Zay Flowers establish himself. You don't have to have this great running back because you got Derrick Henry establish himself. So there are some things they have shored up, and they have guys under contract. Next year, 2026, going to be a much, much different in terms of free agency, but there still are needs to win because you didn't win the whole thing. You're still trying to win it. So what do you actually need on the team actually going forward in 2025? So this is the things I'm sorry. First, we're going to talk about what we need. Let's talk about what you don't need, right? So in what's already in the refrigerator, can't imagine that they're signing a running back in the drafts or in free agency. They maybe have, if it's not the best running back room in the NFL, it's one of them. Same at tight end, unless there's a move made. And I don't think there's going to be a move made at tight end. I think they're going to keep all three of their tight ends. They may ask for some help on the cap with Andrews, but I think they're going to be good there at tight end. Center, I think is going to be a position of need. Not a position in need. I think Linderbaum is only a matter of time before they give him the extension. He's going to be their center. I think he's going to be their centerpiece offensive lineman. And nose tackle, you got several guys. Pierce, I think, really, really established himself. Travis Jones, Matt Abuke decided you can move him to nose tackle. So I don't think those are the positions they're going to be looking at. These positions are needs, but maybe not needs. Maybe there's things that they're looking at here going forward. I think the number one thing that possibly could happen is a backup quarterback. I don't think you can go another season with Josh Jones as the quarterback. Inside linebacker, Trent Simpson didn't play as well as they had hoped, was kind of benched, relegated to special teams role. So I don't know what's going to happen there with Trent Simpson. Kicker, yeah. I think a kicker gets drafted regardless with all the issues with Justin Tucker. It's possible with the season he had, they may draft the kicker. We don't know. They may bring Tucker back for another season. We just don't know yet. So that's why it's in the possible. Safety, I think I have that on the other list there as well, but I had it for there before. Fullback, I think it really depends on what happens with Ricard. I think Ricard is a free agent. I do think he'll be back, but it's possible that they could have him. And defensive end, I think more of a depth piece. I don't think they need any starters or they're looking at anybody starting. I don't think. But Brent Urban isn't getting any younger as far as the backups. They may be looking for some depth there. Wouldn't shock me if they were signing, but not big needs. Safety, I got on the wrong list there, so bear with me. These are the needs in 5 as far as the order of what you need. Outside linebacker. So what's already here? Dafi Owe, Kyle Van Noy, David Ajabo, Adisa Isaac, Tavius Robinson. Not as big as need as we thought. Edge rush. Dafi Owe and Kyle Van Noy had 10-plus sacks, both of them. So they're going to start in 2025. I'd be shocked. Dafi Owe, question is, are you going to extend him? He did get they did pick up the 5th-year option at a very good price. So it's like $15 million. Is he going to be worth $20 million going forward? That's going to be the thing. This is why they may look at it now and see. The younger guys have not done anything as they had hoped. Tavius Robinson played a little bit towards the end of the year, played in the playoffs, got some snaps, but we're still not really sure. You didn't get hardly anything because of injuries. Again, David Ajabo, Adisa Isaac really didn't play at all last year. So we still don't know what that is. Definitely depth is needed here. And Van Noy, as good as he was last year, I think he's going to be 34, 35. So definitely you're looking at that. So Van Noy, free agent. I think he's a free agent too after next year, so as well, in addition to be 35. So it'll be interesting to see after next year. So this is not maybe as an immediate need right now, but this is definitely something, a depth piece, injuries. A little worried about the depth though, because Isaac, again, Ajabo, Robinson, not much there at all, and the rest of those guys there are other guys maybe in the mix, but they didn't get a lot there. So interesting to see there. Safety as well. Again, maybe the best safety in the entire NFL. Kyle Hamilton is on there, so you're not, obviously, that's not it. They want him to retire a Raven. They want Kyle Hamilton to go ahead and retire as a Baltimore Raven. Most likely, Darius Washington stepped up and got the starting job next year. Last year, sorry. Darius Washington went ahead and wins the starting job in 2025. Last season, 2024 rather. So he wins the starting job, got it from Marcus Williams. I think there wasn't a bigger move on the roster. Actually getting a Darius in the starting lineup. You can go ahead. In the starting lineup, Marcus Williams, I think you might as well call him an ex-Raven. No way, no chance, no way in the world he comes back. Already he's restructured his contract to release him, so he's definitely all but gone. Two guys I think with potential. I think it's going to tell something how much they do here. How do they feel about Sesame Kane and Bo Braid? Didn't play a lot, played on special teams. Both were low draft picks, made the team. I like what I saw from those guys, even though they're not ready to start. But are they ready to be backups? How do the Ravens feel, EDC, John Harbaugh, and those guys feel about having these guys with a bigger role in 2025? It is possible. We're going to find out, though, in the draft if they go ahead and draft a player or if they draft a free agent. Interesting, I think, to see. That's why I don't have that higher. I don't know how they feel about those guys. He did, at the end of the year presser, say he was excited to possibly get a safety if he can get one. I think it's possible if they get a safety in the draft early, it's very possible. A couple safeties in the first round. So I don't think that's completely out of the pale there as well. Cornerback. So this is definitely one. Number 3. Let's see who's here. Nate Wiggins, Brandon Stevens, free agent. Marlon Humphrey, rather. Brandon Stevens, free agent. Nate Wiggins, rookie last year, going into a second year. Arthur Millette, I think he's under contract. I have him on the graphic. There's free agent. I think he is 1 more year on his deal. Travion Mullen, TJ Tampion, Justin Armour Davis. We know for a fact Marlon Humphrey and Wiggins are going to be your starters next year, no question about it. I think there's no question about that. I do think they're going to have to bring in some depth pieces. I didn't have enough room on the graphic to have Tre'Davious White. He's a free agent as well, so keep that in mind in the mix. I had to leave him. I didn't want to get it small enough, in my opinion, because there's so many people. But that's definitely something that they're going to have to look at as well. There's help needed outside of Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey here. So definitely I think this is going to be something they're going to look at very high in the draft. It is possible they could take a guy number 1 again. That wouldn't shock me. I don't know if they're going to do that. They tend to want to stay away from signing big dollars at this position in free agency, historically. Marlon Humphrey, homegrown. A lot of these guys homegrown. Possibly they can get a trade or they'll look at a veteran, but I think they're going to go in the draft. Justin Armour Davis, okay-ish. I mean, he's had some good camps, but we just got to keep him healthy on the field. TJ Tampa, you could kind of put him in the same category with Adisa Isaac. We really didn't know. He was battling injury all year long, didn't get a chance to be on the field. So we don't know how much we're getting with TJ Tampa in 2025. So I think they're absolutely going to look at that. Millette, obviously, again, good 2023 3. Last year, you didn't get much from him at all. Again, battling injuries, got hurt in camp, came back from mid-season, didn't really play. Not a big contributor last year. So a lot of ifs here in the cornerback spot. Definitely a spot the Ravens are looking at in terms of need. Number 2, some would say this number 1, but I think this is number 2. Ronnie Stanley is here as well. Left tackle, Roger Rosengarten at right tackle, Josh Jones at left tackle. They did play Patrick McCarry, who's also a free agent. I didn't have him on this particular graphic here at right tackle, so as well. So huge need, huge need here. Ronnie Stanley, I think for free agency, is likely to sign with another team. He's the top free agent in all of football at the tackle spot, and it's a lot of money that tackles get. Certainly, there's a team. Look, Juan Taylor, who is not nearly the player Ronnie Stanley is getting $20 million for Kansas City. So surely Ronnie Stanley is going to look elsewhere, I think. So this is going to be a huge need. Roger Rosengarten, I think, had a very good rookie season. I think he was the only one, I think, that lived up to his full potential as a rookie. He can play the left side. That's very important. He's played the left side most of his college career. He's starting out in the NFL at right tackle, but I think they have a lot of confidence that he can play left tackle. Interesting to see, though. I think it's going to depend on what happens in the draft and free agency. I think if they can get a left tackle or somebody to play right tackle, I think they have no problem moving him. But I don't think they have no problem leaving him either. I think Rosengarten, I think, was the bright spot. Josh Jones is their death piece. I think it's possible that Josh Jones comes back on some kind of easy deal there, something where right before camp or a while. I don't think it's a big priority. You'll see depth pieces there, like late in the, right around April, they'll start signing tackles, right before, right after the draft or something like that. You'll see some tackles here. So that'll be interesting as well. The number 1 need is the guard spot. I think it's definitely more than tackle. I think the offensive line definitely has a lot of issues as well. Certainly free agency production as well. Makari, I think, is free agent at left guard last season. Daniel Falele, yeah. Ben Cleveland and Andrew Voorhees. So a major overhaul, I think, at these 2 spots. McCary, I'm not sure if he's coming back or not. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot about teams being interested in McCary. I don't know if the market for him is great as well. I'm not sure. I'm thinking that he's going to not be here. My thought process is that somebody else out there is looking at a guy. There's a lot of teams that really need offensive line. It's such premium right now with all the money teams are spending on quarterbacks. So it'll be interesting to see that premium position there, that teams on quarterbacks. Andrew Voorhees is one there as well. Is interesting. Andrew Voorhees is interesting as well. Started out the year as a starter. Then he got moved to the bench last season. I still think they pretty got high hopes for him. I think they are going to – I absolutely can see a scenario where he moves into the left guard. But I do think they're going to put heavy draft emphasis on these spots here. For Lele, I don't know why y'all – I don't know why he started. I just don't know. I watched him for the whole season. He was horrible at the start. He got incrementally better, but definitely you got to upgrade this year. Ben Cleveland, 0% chance you're going to have him. You're going to need at least, in my opinion, at least two here at this position. I think this is the number 1 need, protecting Lamar Jackson as well. So those, I think, are the biggest needs going forward. I don't think there's anything else you need in particular. I don't think there is a huge need otherwise there. There we go. I don't think there's another huge need on the team as far as that goes. But definitely the offensive line is something that has to be addressed, in my opinion, in the offseason. I think they kind of got lucky, I think, with two spots. The offensive line and the backup quarterback were two things where they absolutely got lucky. Absolutely did. They're lucky Lamar didn't get hurt and didn't need out. They had really nothing there in the offensive line, especially on the right side. Rosengarten played well, good draft pick. They schemed it up well, but they definitely had some issues there. So there are the needs for the team. Next week, we're going to go over the team, what they do as far as free agents. So we're going to do free agents, and then we're going to do draft targets. We're going to take you down the path here with the offseason, talk about free agency, all that stuff, the mock draft, the draft, Ravens draft. We're going to do Ravens mock draft. We're going to do all that stuff for you during the Raver Eat Sports podcast. Let's get this out the way with the GOAT, Justin Tucker. This happened. This may seem like old news to a lot of you Raven fans, but this actually happened Thursday, right after we recorded on Wednesday. So we recorded on Wednesday, and this happened on Thursday with Justin Tucker. So if you read the Baltimore Banner, a lot of you know it, but I'll recap it anyway. There was allegations as far as it goes, the Baltimore Banner with the GOAT, Justin Tucker, as far as things that he had done in terms of sexual allegations about a massage parlor he was at. It wasn't named, I don't think, in the article. Definitely, I would challenge you to read the article, and the Baltimore Banner is behind the paywall, unfortunately. So definitely check that out. Also, too, he reprinted a statement. I put it on the River Sports Twitter page and Facebook page as well. He has vehemently denied these allegations that happened. He did that the same day it came out last Thursday, where he vehemently denied these allegations. Since then, there has been more accusers. So I think the number was at 9 originally. There's been 3 more. I heard there was more than that. There's been a couple more of these. These apparently happened several years ago. I think the timeline is 2015, where Justin Tucker was accused of sexual assault. This is alleged. I think I don't want to use the wrong term but I think it was sexual misconduct at a massage parlor with women, where apparently he was thrown out, and he was asked in the letter not to return to these massage parlors with these women where he was frequenting. So, not good, obviously. This is not a good thing at all. I'm really sad about this because I think all of us like Justin Tucker, right? I mean, even though his struggles, I think he's kind of one of our guys. I think he's one of the longest running Ravens on the team. He's a likable guy. I think fans really like him. A lot of us have a Tucker jersey. I think he might be the greatest kicker in the NFL history before this season. And I think it might be over. I don't know that, but if these allegations are true, I don't think he stays around as a Raven. Obviously, there's no place for this. There's no place for anyone doing anything to women. There's no place for touching women or making them feel inappropriate or anything at all like that. And it's unfortunate that he's out here doing these things, if that is true, which we don't know for sure. But it's unfortunate the Ravens have to deal with this. It's unfortunate that the fans, all the young people, especially that like Justin Tucker, have to deal with that. It's unfortunate for everyone involved that they have to go ahead and deal with this type of stuff here. So it's uncalled for. Obviously, when you have these type of issues, and so it's unfortunate that we have that here. I don't have a lot more than that, except we're just hoping that this isn't true, that this is unfounded, that there was a mistake, and we can move on with the GOAT. If this is true, and we don't know that it is, I don't think he's going to be around as a Baltimore Raven. Let's hope he can get out. I'm sure there will be legal issues, lawsuits, and all this stuff. as well, and they'll be drafting a kicker. So best to everyone involved here with that. Hopefully this isn't true. Let's hope for that. I'm going to hope for the best with that, with Tucker going forward. Doesn't look good though. I don't think that's correct. I don't know, but there's a lot of detail in that Baltimore background. There's a lot of detail coming out. I'm not going to go into what I heard behind the scenes either, so I don't know that to be true either. So again, we will see what happens with the GOAT Justin Tucker there is what.